Welcome to this bolt action battle report. It's 1250 points. Early war Germans, Blitzkrieg here, taking on the British Expeditionary Force. So add more new units here for the Germans as we expand the collection, gearing up for our campaign. And then Aaron's back with his British army here in this game. So I'm going to run through my Germans here first of all, no particular order. I have taken an armoured platoon, but debuting a 222 armoured car. That's with a coaxial machine gun and 20mm autocannon. And then we have the 6th Rad is back, so pushing towards a bit of recon here for this German collection. Then we have a Panzer IV with the short-barreled 75mm howitzer. And then finally we have a Panzer I tank being taken as well with the twin MGs. I've then taken an artillery platoon across here, so 75mm short-barreled howitzer, and then a Pak 36 anti-tank gun, and then officer and a man. And then the main bulk of the army is the rifle platoon. So we have an officer and a man with a rifle, a air observer with a man added on, then 3 Hare infantry squads, all squads of 10 this time around, all equipped with MGs. 1 squad here, 1 squad here. 3rd squad inside a half track. We have a sniper team. And then finally we have a debut here for these motorcycle troops. So it's squad of 2, Kradschützen, I think is the pronunciation for them in German. So I have paid points to give them, it's a 4-man squad. I've paid the 15 points for an MG, and then for a loader, and the 2 other men taking submachine guns. And then when they disembark, they fight on foot. And I think the rules are once they decide to fight on foot, they abandon the motorcycles. They can't get back on them, so we've got to make that decision during the game. But they'll be replaced by that squad over there. It's an MG team, and then 2 models with SMGs is the idea. But very excited about these as we push towards recon here for the Germans. Just love the models. Always loved the motorcycle and sidecar here for the Germans. So a squad of those. Hopefully more on the way. So that's the list for the Germans. All the models, tanks, vehicles are all regular here for this battle. That's the list for them. We'll take a look at Aaron's British next. All right, so 1250 points of British Expeditionary Force. We'll let Aaron run through what he has here in his list.
Okay, so in this list we have 2 rifle platoons with 2 squads each of 10 men. There's a light machine gun in each of the squads. One of the rifle platoons, the command only has 1 rifleman in support of the officer. Then we have an artillery platoon back here, and they both have spotters and gun shields on those guns. We have an armoured platoon. We have a Daimler Dingo with a Vickers and a Matilda in that. And then finally we have a heavy weapons platoon, 2 Vickers medium machine guns and a medium mortar with a spotter. That completes the list.
And they're all regulars?
They're all regular, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's Aaron's list. As mentioned before, Aaron does painting commissions. So he's painted up his own army across here. And Aaron's brought along some of his other models that he paints. These are from your own collections, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got Napoleonic British. I have to say, they're beautifully done. So get in contact with Aaron. We've left his email in the video description below. So you can get in contact with him for your own painting commission work. That's the line troops there. These are Warlord Games models, yeah. So exceptional stuff. I'm going to show you a few others. So some of the cavalry. What is that, French? Chasseur Cheval? Yeah, I think, yes. We plan to do Napoleonics. We could even use this terrain here on the that we see on the table. There's a Frenchman. And then, again, from Aaron's own collection here.
That's a Victrix model.
Victrix, nice. And then a couple more. A barbarian of some kind.
Yeah, I think they're grouping base. They might be Irish.
Right, and then one more across here as well. So Aaron's available for painting commissions. It's whichever type you want. It's not just bolt action, but other gaming systems and genres as well. But do get in contact with him. Link below for Aaron's email address. All right, so we have a scenario for this game. Moving along with our story scenarios, last time we played Manhunt, great fun that it was. But the next one is Point Defence, very appropriate. Naturally, the British are going to put them in as the defenders here. So a 12-inch deployment zone for them, marked by the yellow dice across the other side of the board. That's their deployment zone, and that's the side of the table they're going to be defending as the Germans make their attack. So Aaron has to deploy at least half of his force on the board, and then the rest, if he chooses, can go into reserve. And then for the Germans, the units start off the board. At least half of my army has to go in as the first wave, so it's going to come on turn 1, and then the rest, if we choose to, can come on as regular reserves. So the mission revolves around the defensive objectives here in this game. So just around the other side of the table, you can see Aaron's deployment zone across here. There's 3 objectives on the board, and they need to be defended here for this battle. So they have to be 6 inches away from your deployment zone edge, at least. They can be further up, but they've got to be in this sort of zone across here. And they have to be at least 24 inches away from each other, so you can't bunch them up. It means that roughly one's going to be central, and then one on each flank. So this one here is the central objective, just next to the hedge. Then this mark here on the right-hand side here, and then we've put a Kuba wagon there just as a visual reference for that objective. And then across here again, another German wreck just to signify the position of the left-hand objective. So this one's tough enough on both sides. For Aaron to win the game, he has to hold all 3 of these objectives through to the end of the battle. If the Germans capture 1, the game will be a draw, and if the Germans capture 2 or more, then it will be a German victory. So pressure enough on both sides. Germans need a good breakthrough, need to anchor and hold at least one of these objectives, 2 to win the game. If the British can mount a decent defence and keep the Germans off of these objectives, then they will win. Objectives can be held by artillery and infantry, but not by vehicles. And then also to mention, there is a preliminary bombardment available as well for the attackers. The Germans will get that. Terrain's quite straightforward, so we'll clarify it, I think, as we go along, but it's hedgerows. As far as terrain's going here on the channel, I've just finished another large enough batch of hedges. This table is about as dense, I think, as we've had it so far. The plan is to push out into... there's other things to get done, so we've got telegraph poles, signposts to do as another project, and then like cornfields and so on, just to fill out some of these fields as well. So exciting stuff for terrain, making progress, but still plenty of things to be getting on with. So Aaron's going to choose half of his force. Just to clarify on terrain, we have some obscuring hedges, that's the taller ones. So we're saying they're obscuring for seeing through, unless, this is a bit of a house rule, I think, if you're in the top story of a building or a higher story, then we just go by true line of sight. But they are very thick and tall, these hedges. And then there are lower hedges, which just go by true line of sight, which are thick enough to block out infantry, but vehicles may well be able to see over the top of those. There's some trees, fences for soft cover, a couple of buildings, a couple of ruins here on the board as well. So decisions have been made. Aaron's going to put every single one of your units on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to deploy in force here. And then for the Germans, I'm going to put most of my force into the first wave. I'm going to flank here with a half track and this squad, plus the bikers as well. Historically, just reading up about them, they did used to try and flank and work their way around the sides of enemy forces. So the bikers add into reserve as well. But everything else forming the first wave here for the Blitzkrieg Germans. All right, deployment's done here for Aaron's force. So infantry on the left-hand side, officer here in 2 squads, backing away from these hedges and onto the left-hand objective. Artillery is deployed here. Aaron can call in indirect fire and then a good field of fire across the board as well for direct shooting, which I think there's going to be a fair bit here in this game if the Germans try and push through the middle. Backed up here by armour. So Dingo on the right-hand side, just in front is the Matilda on the road here. Then in the centre, 2 infantry squads, an officer and a man here, and it looks like their intent is to push up towards the hedge line. Backing them up with infantry support is the Vickers here on this right-hand side. Then the heavy machine gun teams, both of them set up here with their officer on this objective, mortar team just behind as well, so anchoring the right-hand side with the double Vickers machine guns. Then some observers here. We've alternated placing these infiltrators on the board. So this is the observer. He's in the hedge for the mortar team. Then you get an observer for each of the artillery pieces. One's deployed just here, and then one's deployed just here, setting up forwards to call in strikes here. Aaron's just trying to get good angles here across the board for indirect fire. And then you can see on a couple of units these green tokens, that's representing units that are hidden. And then for the Germans, we have one infiltrator on the board. We reckon we're getting this right, but as always, do correct us if you think we're wrong with any of the rules in the comments section below. It's always appreciated. We check all the comments and then try our best to learn from our mistakes. But the quest for a perfect game is about as elusive as the Holy Grail, right? It's just not going to find it, but we always do the best that we can. So I have put a sniper team, and boy, do they look good here. Look, there they are positioned just on the blind side of this building, and then one of them with his binoculars can see an observer over there in the distance. So it'd be interesting to see who draws the first dice here. So deployment is done. The British prepare themselves to receive the first wave here as the Germans prepare their blitzkrieg attack. So deployment's done. There is the preliminary bombardment. We'll go on to the first turn of the game. We'll resolve this bombardment here, and then we'll start turn 1. So we're on turn 1 here. Aaron's thinking about his first move. It is an orange dice, which is a British dice that has been drawn. Just as Aaron's thinking about that, we'll just call out our sponsors here. So Warlord Games, big thanks to them for their sponsorship. There's a link below for them, an affiliate link. You can use that for getting hold of your bolt action stuff from them and the other gaming systems that they do as well. And then don't forget Gaming Squared for 3D prints, which we are using some of them here in this game, such as the Panzer 1. That is a 3D print from them. Fantastic. But also the Panzer 2s that I have, they're all from Gaming Squared. So link for them below. Some great prints available from them for your bolt action vehicles. So Aaron's going for a snap to action. I think he's going to shift the infantry nice and quickly. There's another update as well. Haha, what is this? The French, they're on the way. I've built the starter army, so about 1,000 points. This is going to be a tester model. I hope to paint him very soon, just getting the colours together for the French. So the plan is to go for early war British. Aaron's got a great collection of those, expanding the Germans, and then we're going to delve into the French for the early war as well. You can see one of the vehicles actually across there, the Char B1 painted up. Just need to finish that off, and that'll be one of the French vehicles done as well. So keep a lookout for them. Hopefully painting tutorials on the way for the French as they make progress on the channel. So in the nick of time, and I had to be reminded twice, but Aaron remembered with the preliminary bombardment, which is a strong asset if you're the attacker. It really is good. So single pins coming through over on that flank for all of those units. The officer was struck though, lost his man, second man, and then 2 pins on him. 1 pin, 2 pins on the infantry squad. The artillery was struck as well by pins. The Damon Dingo took 2 pins. The officer was hit. So he lost his second man from him as well, and 2 pins on him. Matilda escaped, not scratched, rolled a 1. And then infantry taking pins over in that corner but just a couple of models that were of officers were hit in the blasts coming through. Now, correct us if we're wrong, but the rules are pretty clear. It's within the enemy deployment zone, so the units that are infiltrating in no man's land are not struck by the artillery. So snap to action was issued, recovered a pin and pushed forwards, advanced move, cleared their pin as well, and pushed forwards as well with this infantry squad. Right, German dice, sniper. We'll shoot into the observer across here. That was how we deployed, so we'll try and take him out. So we reckon fire order, +1 to the hit rolls, need a 3. It's a hit. It goes straight through to damage, ignoring cover. Even if Aaron's getting the +1 to cover from it, it's all bypassed because of the sniper. And it's 3s for a kill. It's +1 to the roll. He's escaped. All right, that's done. All right, so German dice. We brought on the Panzer IV just to get the early shots off. It may well be hunted by the Matilda, we'll see. I've declared the bow machine gun and the main gun. Conscious that the machine gun might be out of range, and it is. So once it's declared, we've measured, and the shots do fall short. So just going to be the howitzer. Just going to shoot into the right-hand 6-pounder. And we're going to go for a single shot. Aaron's going to take here. He's not going to go down with the artillery. 5 up. Always a plumb hit. This could be messy. So all 3 men are in with the 2-inch blast. And so you are making cover saves of 5+ for this.
Save all 3.
We've made them all. And then for pins, 2 pins as a consolation here, but cover stops those shots coming through. So British dice drawn, and we have channel supporters at the top tier, 2 of them. Gareth Wallace, which we're going to put them both on the Allied side here. Gareth's going to go onto the Matilda for this battle. And then we have Chris Hutchins. He'll go onto the Daimler Dingo, one of the key HQ sort of commander vehicles for the Allied vehicles. That's the 2 top tier supporters. We allocate them to units for all of our games. British dice snap to action. Officer did a rally, which he passed just about because he was a British officer with a +1. And then we've gone for a fire order on the gun that I shot at, which has passed. Pin removed. There's still 2 pins on it though, so I think you're going to need. Well, you might need a 4 for a hit because you're going to fire AP at a vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
Fine for range.
Right.
Okay.
A 4+.
No,
missed. Right, pins kept the shot away from the Panzer IV. Right, so German dice. We did a run move through here and lined the hedge. We've gone into the hedge with these. And then very professional here for us Germans, but strange things going on the other side of the board for the British. Officer Fubard, then friendly fire from there into the front unit. 2 hits, but no damage coming through, just a pin being caused on that unit. Perhaps dissension in the ranks, perhaps like...
Yeah, but this is not the Russians.
Oh, sorry. No, the British don't do that. So whatever reason, I'm sure it was good reason for sure from the British officer, but he decided to open up on his own unit. We'll press on here and draw some more dice. So string of dice have been drawn. Aaron's been rallying his infantry squads and passed all of those. Germans have brought on more troops over on this flank. 2nd infantry squad's turned up here. Officers turned up across here as well. Just going into the 2nd hedge. Germans going to try and work their way through in this direction. Panzer I's come on as well. Has done a run move right up to the ruin and pivoted here. So a string of sad events here. Brought him on. And then I've taken 2 casualties, actually 1 model left and a pin. That came from Aaron activating his mortar, which is over in that corner, but its observer is
here.
He's there. Okay, so you could see down. Yeah, I was positioning him to. The idea is to move him out of the way, then fire with him on a later turn, but been picked on here at least by the mortar team. So a few things going on, actually close to ending the turn here. Aaron's gone for rallies and ambushes and all successful over in that corner. I'm not sure if we called this out, but the Vickers pushed forwards in support of the infantry. Oh, Matilda's on the move. This is the last dice here for the British. And it's making a declaration. It's planting itself right in the centre of the table. It's going to be something for the Germans to try and deal with. It's going to dominate there in the centre of the board. Have you got a shot?
No.
No shot across here yet, at least. and we went into ambush, or Aaron went into ambush with the other gun. Damer Dingo has gone.
It did a rally to remove the 2 pins on it.
Yes, all right. That's all the British dice here. We've got 5 German units still to bring on. So German dice officers run up to here, and then we've got new model syndrome here with this one. It's been ambushed as I've come on here. I was going to do a run move, but Aaron's going to fire the ambushing gun on no pins 3+.
Yep.
Oh, please don't. I've just painted it.
Oh,
Good. It's missed. He's rolled a 1. So pressed on with the rest of the German dice. That 2-2 I did push into here. In the end, I was going to go further up the road. It's amazing speed. They can go wheeled vehicles 12 and 24. It's ×2 on the road. So you've got potential of a 48-inch move on the road. So 6 rads come on 12 and a pivot and put 2 shots. So it's light autocannon into the gun on the right-hand side, but we missed completely. And then across here, German's sneaking on. So pack 36 tapping into the hedge, and it's got a view across here just to put potential shots into that Matilda. Air observers on here as well, just again looking at the Matildas. Turn 2. It will be interesting for sure. We'll see whose dice come up first. So turn 1's finished. Initial surge from the Germans. They're pushing through here, trying to blindside the British as much as possible. And then infantry working their way through on the right-hand side. So 2 main thrusts we're seeing here by the Germans, with the British spread across the board, which is fine because you didn't know where the Germans were going to come. We'll see how the Allies react, though. The Blitzkrieg has begun. Turn 2 coming up next. Okay, we'll capture this on camera. First dice. So many options for both of us. British dice. Where is he going to go? He could do a snap. I don't want to put it into his mind, but yeah, snap to action could be an idea. We'll see what Aaron decides to do. So we've got snap to action with the officer. This unit's going to ambush. The one on Aaron's left.
It's going to attempt to fire, so to do an order test first.
Order test first, yes, because it's actually got 2 pins. And Aaron's rolling an 11.
-3.
Yeah, 11 plus 2. No, I think you're going to be 1 short, even with the British officer there.
Okay, so he
Goes down. Oh boy, it's a bit of a break here, perhaps for the Germans. So another British dice drawn. Aaron's going to quickly shoot with the mortar across here. I could go down, but there's only 1 model left, and I can't halve 1. I'm not going to get cover, so I'm just going to sit where I am and see if Aaron hits on a 2-up.
Should do.
Yeah, I think it's a 3 for a kill.
Yep.
Yeah, destroyed. All right, decrewed. British dice again, and Vickers has emerged here, partially covered to the entrance of the hedge, and Aaron's putting 2 shots into the Panzer I. Pretty close range here.
So 5s?
Still 5s though, yeah. No. 2 4s, no, missed. So finally a German dice comes up here. Officer well placed. We get an extra order dice for snap to action, so 4 in total, including the officer. So he's gone into ambush. A fire order from the air observer onto the Matilda, and then the infantry squad pushing through the obstacle here. 6-inch move advance with them breaking cover. And then the Pack 36 does have a shot against that Matilda, so we'll go for a 3+. a hit. Okay, I think that's going to be side armor here. We'll check. So we are, range 24 is there, so we are firing at -1. It is side, so that cancels, basically they cancel each other out. So we're just on a d6 plus 4, armor value of a 9, so 5 or more would be good. Oh boy, we've got a penetrating hit. Stop right there. Soft cover. Save yourself some pain. No. 4 up to Papa Matilda. We do on a 6. Oh, she's gone. Up in smoke it goes. Matilda destroyed. That is significant for the Germans. Yes, we'll come to that incident in the corner in just a moment. We had questions about the air observer, whether he can, whether he still has a function on the board. The answer is he does. Depending on what we roll on the airstrike table when it comes, if and when it comes, his initial target has been destroyed. If, for example, we do roll here it comes and the plane comes in, and the target's been destroyed, it'll just fly past, nothing happens. But if we roll, for example, the skies are empty, it will let him choose a fresh target. It's like redirecting the aircraft before it comes in, or a different type of aircraft coming across. So that's fine, he'll stay where he is, and he potentially still has a function on the board. But a repetition, history repeats itself over in that corner. Another foobar rolled, another friendly fire result from that same officer. This time did get a hit and a kill on one of those infantrymen, so hopefully that's the incident over. Perhaps suspected traitor over in that corner, but the officer's busy shooting his own men over in that corner of the board here. Very blitzkrieg kind of vibe here. Germans exceptionally well organised and efficient. The British incomplete, well, in some disarray here at this stage. We'll press on, more dice to come. So this is going to be quite a key part here for this turn. Officer snap to action. And so far we've activated the Panzer IV. It's pivoted, moved and turned. It can now see both guns. The question has been asked if Aaron wants to go for an ambush. That's with that gun. The answer is yes. So it's going to be an AP round on a 3+. Well, it's a plumb hit. Aaron's rolled a 6. Okay. Armor value of 9. And you're firing as a light anti-tank gun at long range, you reckon?
Yeah.
So +3 in total. So you're going to struggle. Yeah, 1. It's going to be pins. Yeah. So 1 pin coming through. So that pin's quite crucial. We're going to move 6s. I'm going to go for the coaxial and the bow machine gun. And we're going to go into the gun that's already got the pins. We need 6s though. Get a couple of hits. Cover saves of 5+ for Aaron to block these.
He is doing no 1 on a 3.
Oh right, he's down. That 6, that 3 will be a pass.
3 is pass. So
yeah, it's +2 to armor, and then our cover save, and then we kill the other one. So 1 casualty caused. Next part of this German cunning move, the 222. Now the ambush has been used up. It has elected to go on the road with an advanced move, which staying on the road gives us 24 inches. It's moved all the way up here past the Vickers, swung round. 2 point blank shots into the rear. Sneaky thing that it is. If we can hit, so we need 3s. Debut here. 1 miss, 1 hit. This is with the auto light auto cannon. Then +2 for rear. +2 for our pen. 6. I don't think that's enough. Yeah, I reckon it's superficial. Point blank gives you an extra +1, so actually +3. At that range, which is superficial. We've rolled up, we've got a 5, so it's immobilised, extra pin taken. Vickers is now stuck there for the rest of the game. Next part of the plan, 6 rads pivoted, gone 12, didn't start on the road. We've got to there, going to put 2 shots into that Vickers. Proper ambush, we need 5s though. And 2 misses, okay, so those shots don't hit. So officer's done a run move and moved up behind the Panzer I, but that was a big snap to action there for the Germans as they push out and break through across in this direction. So pressing on, these pushed into the hedge with an advance move. Dingoes pivoted and turned and run across here. Just to clarify, these are in the hedge. Advance move here, an advance move, but not going into the hedge here with this squad. And just around here, just showing you the situation. Here with the German armoured cars making a breakthrough on the British right-hand flank. And then a German dice was pulled. It's the squad that just tucked in there. The machine gun fired through, caused a pin and a casualty on the infantry squad that's just pushed into the hedge. Just to, we've let Aaron resolve this here. 2 pins have come through against the 222. That was ambush being used up by the Vickers. You can put pins onto open-topped vehicles, such as half-tracks. It can be done. Not the 6-rad, that's enclosed. But the 222 is open-topped, so let Aaron resolve that, and he did get his hit. So 2 pins being caused on that as it's come up the road. Then Panzer 1's been activated, done a regular advanced move, gone 9 inches in total. Put some shots into the artillery down the road, caused a pin and a casualty. And we have reached the end of the turn here. The last dice coming up for the Germans was the sniper. A shot hit and killed the observer across here. So the second shot claiming that target. So end of turn here. Significant positives here for the Germans. This manoeuvre sweeping on the left-hand side, disabling and pinning the Vickers. And then the main one has been the blow here for the British, losing that Matilda in the centre of the board, taken out by a penetrating hit here by the anti-tank gun for the Germans. We are neutralising Allied targets, making good progress, but to win the game, the Germans have got to capture objectives. Just to refresh your memories, one across there by that German vehicle. The other objective is over there. It's some distance away, and we've got to get infantry or artillery onto it. So we've we've got these vehicles, but they're not going to capture the objectives or win us the game. And the other one's over on that flank as well. End of turn, we're going to go on to turn 3 here, pushing towards the middle stage of the game. Germans making good progress, but they need to push on here to try and pick up a victory. So we're on turn 3. British dice has been drawn. We're talking about lists. I'm rotating mine around, trying out different things. Very enjoyable. Aaron does have units on the way, but by all means you can leave suggestions for units to use for either side. I've been talking about like light tanks for the British, or even the Bofors the 2-pounder anti-tank guns might be quite useful, especially if we play some scenarios in the future where it's going to be like fixed defensive lines, such as this scenario here. Something to take the pressure off Aaron's artillery, because they're trying to do indirect fire and also trying to do direct fire as well. And so if they were more hidden away doing indirect fire, Aaron's then going to need some anti-tank on the board of some kind. There's anti-tank rifles, anti-tank guns, light tanks, more medium tanks, different options available. Any list suggestions, let us know in the comments section below. Right, so Aaron's going to go for the Vickers to try and do something with it before it's shot to pieces. By the way, Air Observer, we rolled a 4+, and that is here it comes. The target's been destroyed, the plane's flown over, and that's it for the game. You can only call in air support once per battle, so with the Air Observer, so that's out of it. He has no function on the ball, just as, well, he could run and grab an objective, couldn't he? But as far as calling in as aircraft is concerned, his task is over. Order test with 2 pins on the Vickers. 12. No, he doesn't like it, and he goes down. Ouch. German dice, Panzer IV fired as Aaron went down with that artillery piece, and we missed with the main gun. The bow machine gun, though, caused a casualty in the pin. In response here, vicious fight here in the middle. So snap to action. Thankfully, with the officer passing order test in half, right? Pivoting with that thing. And I actually watched those on display at a show at the weekend, Military Odyssey. And they set that plate up. I'll zoom in so you can see. There is a plate that the vehicle sits on top that you can pivot it very quickly. Not that Aaron needs to pivot. Here he's got the arc, the angle anyway without having to pivot. But it's fascinating to watch those things deploy and fire. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
One shot needing a 3. Into the Panzer 1. Plum hit on a 6.
Excellent.
In half range, firing as a light anti-tank gun, +4. I'm armor 7. Penetrating hit. And then a simple dice roll of 4+ to destroy it. Oh, please don't like the Panzer 1. 5. Oh, vengeance is sweet. Yes, Panzer 1 destroyed. The infantry will be happy. German dice. Advanced move with the 6 rad and point blank into the side of the Vickers, surely to finish this thing off. 2 hits. It's +2, so +4. 7's a partial or superficial. Yeah. I'll roll on this one to see what happens here. A 2, so we'll check these results here, but the Vickers is in a fair bit of trouble. Yeah, it's a second immobilised result, so Vickers goes up in smoke. Vicious battle for armour, this one. Both sides causing casualties, but German recon doing well enough on this left-hand side, encouraging signs for future games. In regards to future games, we are putting a lot of emphasis at the moment on Blitzkrieg, early war Germans against the British. All I can say at this stage is there are other armies on the way. We know the French are coming, but there's other armies. Aaron's painting up other armies. I won't say any more, and I've got plans for others as well. So we're just getting going here. So do stick around for future reveals on the channel. Keep a lookout for other areas in World War II, which we're currently expanding into. Hopefully we'll see some games. And quick enough, the turn comes to an end here. So we did officer snap to action, ran the artillery round, can't go through the obstacle. Officers move round, air observers move round, just regular moves out of the hedge. A run move here with these, not sure if we covered that already. Fire order from those was done, just causing that pin. And the officer's backtracked across here now, just on his own, isolated with the Panzer 1 gone, British infantry breaking through. Dangerous enough. And then the 222, we cleared our pins with a rally successfully. So the firepower was all right. Silence stopped us from moving and shooting. Rally order. And then British infantry looks like they're on the move. Let's zoom in. As Aaron moves them into and through the hedge. And that'll mark the end of the turn. The dingo, which is parked up here, has gone into ambush. End of turn. We're going to roll on to turn 4 next. So turn 4 kicks off with a German dice, and we cleared the pins last turn, then did a fire order. Aaron went down with the front machine gun squad. Still took 2 casualties, 2 pins, passing morale tests with those, but damage on that team weapon for sure. Aaron has now just pulled a dice for the British. Snap to action with the officer. Both guns available.
Need to do an order test here.
Order test first. I'm on the stacked up pins first of all. That should be good.
Yeah.
So 1 pin removed. A fire order. Now I'm thinking here, but...
Yes. That's
yeah, all right. So 1 shot needing a 4+ because of the pins.
No.
Missed. Okay, second gun.
3+ on him.
Yes.
Oh, so that's cocked.
Cock dice, yeah. And a miss. Both guns have missed. All significant here. We'll press on. So a few dice being drawn, mostly German. Advanced move here, so we backed up, pivoted, shot down here. Aaron went down with his infantry squad. Half the number of hits was 4. We hit with 1, but then halved it to 2. 1 casualty did come through and 2 pins on that squad. It's selected to go down. German squad across here. Advanced move, breaking out of the hedge, putting some shots into the infantry across here. No casualties, but an extra pin caused. So on 3 pins on that squad on the corner. Germans trying to work their way through here, firing as they go, trying to cover themselves as best as they can. It's slow enough progress. There's a dingo on ambush watching us as well. It's tricky enough on this flank. Right, stream of German dice coming through. Officer snap to action across here. Air observer on the road, just made a run move all the way around here. A run move of the anti-tank gun, making it to the corner, so a view up the road. Officer pushing through to here as well, so that's that resolved. The Panzer IV advanced move, pushing forwards, cleared its pin, shot with machine guns and caused a casualty in the pin on that gun. So both guns now on one crewman left each. And then a run move of the officer, just taking the gamble with him running up behind the tank as it pushes forwards. Aaron used the mortar observer, he's just tucked in there to try and call in firepower on the sniper team, and missed. And he's backed off from the hedge with the Vickers team. And German dice has come up. Sniper shot. We're going to try and pick off a crewman from one of the guns. We'll go for the one on the right-hand side. 3 is a hit. It's going to be 3 for a kill here. Yes. And that's going to be a decrewed gun. Good shooting there from the sniper. It's been quite useful in this game. So, very interesting battle of the hedgerows taking place across here. This is the most hedges that we've had in a game. We've just finished an extra batch of them coming through. In fact, all of these hedges that you can see are all new ones. So we've moved out and shot across here just to avoid the ambush from him and put more shots into this squad. 6, 7 hits coming through, but Aaron passing his cover saves for going down in the hedge. Did take a pin though, but no further casualties. 4 pins on that squad now in total. And we're just rounding off the turn here. Last couple of dice here for the British. That'll be turn 4 finished. Germans doing okay, but time is running out for them. It's a 6-turn game. 4 plus it'll be 7 turns. So noticing for the Germans, like in this situation across here, like a normal wheeled truck would be very useful. For example, for picking up the anti-tank gun, towing that, lifting German infantry units, and then moving them up the board. You can go so quick in wheeled vehicles on roads instead of having to slog across on foot. So something to bear in mind. And trucks, for either faction, they're very cheap in points. So something to think about. That is the end of the turn. The squad that was here has backed off and gone back onto the objective. If Aaron holds these objectives, he'll win the game. Germans are doing okay, but they've got to break into the British lines here and anchor these objectives. I have been putting other dice have been coming through, putting down orders on our reserves. Bear in mind, Germans do have these units available, as yet not committed to the fight. End of turn 4. We're going to go on to turn 5 next. German dice here on turn 5. Can he be a super sniper? We're going to go after the second gun, try and decrew that. What a hero. Yes. What would they get? Iron Cross?
I don't know.
He doesn't even know. He's a British player. Iron Cross! Another one. Decrewed kill. Super sniper. Wow. Good work. It's one of the units that was heading out of the list, but I think if you can position them well, they can be a real pain because it's kind of a low priority target compared to like the tanks that are pushing forwards. But at the same time, if you ignore them, snipers can be very useful. They've got a good field of fire. If they're kept away from a lot of danger, they can be very dangerous indeed, as we have seen. So more dice coming through, German dice here. So an advanced move on the tank, snap to action, push forwards, shot and missed the dingo with the main gun. The bow machine gun though caused a pin, so open topped, we can do that. And then a run move of the officer. That goes 6, we go 12. So he's caught up with the tank now running alongside just over there. Then, not sure if we covered this one, don't think we did. Fire order given to the 6 rad at point blank range. Aaron didn't go down, missed with one shot, hit with the other. Cover saves made on a couple. I think it was 1 casualty caused and 2 pins, so 4 pins now on the infantry squad. British dice being drawn. Officer shot across here. We passed a cover save but took a pin. Aaron's passed with the squad that took lots of pins. They've still got 3 pins left. They are available now, going to shoot. They kind of formed up in an L shape. You can see them in there. Some facing that way, some that way. So half of them, including the Bren, will go across here. We'll just take it. This is the total number of shots. Aaron needs 5s. And it's not bad. 3 hits come through. So something significant that we've changed up here. I reckon this is closer to the rules. You can let us know in the comment section. We reckon you do cover saves before you roll to damage. But you can let us know what you think about that one. So we're going to do cover saves first. No, we discussed this. There is no cover. The gap here is enough that Aaron can see most of my unit. In which case you're rolling to kill. That's dangerous enough. 4s. Oh, he's got 2 and a pin. Good result. Right, it's a shame, but it's fair enough. Malta's just got a hit across here for the British. So well done, and that's going to change to 2 upright because you're zeroed in. Yeah. Aaron rolled a 6 for a hit. That's not down, that was a fire order. So 2 dice named 3s for kills. Oh, please, no. Oh, I got him. Don't last long. Heroes are born and then they're removed quick enough. Sniper team removed, but what damage they did, significant stuff from them. So other moves taking place. Aaron not rallying, but passing tests, shots through here. 2 casualties, 2 pins. That was from that squad across there. I think I called that one out already. Yes. Move the officer across. Tried to get these to pass an order test. They failed and went down. That's because of the pins and the damage coming through from the 6th rad. All dice have been used up over in that corner. Double ambush with the units over there. Backing away. We can't see through this hedge here. And then across here, Aaron's gone into ambush with the unit on the objective. And the officer made the advance move. Germans have got to start deciding now which objectives to go after. Do they go after all of them? To win the game, they just need to capture 2. To get a draw, capture 1. I think... No, I don't want to give things away. Okay, we've got to make choices, though, where to go. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. Our attack's going well, but we're not on any objectives. We will lose if things stay as they are. Air Observer, redundant, has done a run move across here, caught in an ambush with him and took a pin and a casualty, passed morale. I think you have to do a morale test if it's 50% or more. So bang on 50% losing the model. It must be, because in previous games we've done sniper teams lose a model, you have to do a morale test. So yeah, I reckon it's at 50% or more. That was semi-intentional, try and get that ambush used up to try and pave the way for further German movement here. Pressure's on us, time is ticking away. We are really running out of time to try and go after that objective. So some significant things going on here at the end of turn 5. Brought these on, not the half track and not the teams. They're off, fouled out tests to bring them on. It's just those. Real nightmare for trying to bring these onto the board. Here's the safest spot. Remember, we're trying to go after this objective. We were ambushed by a single rifle shot coming through and no hit. We then shot across here, caused a casualty and a pin on the gun. But we're not near the objective is the problem. Aaron had this unit in ambush, so as soon as we crossed this area here, if we deployed around here, it would have ambushed us all those rifle shots. Not good. The other place we could have come down was here, but this squad's an ambush as well on the objective. So the British have been oppressed by the Germans in this game, but they're anchoring onto these objectives, all 3 of them at this stage. Not sure if we've covered it already. Anti-tank gun made a run move, positioned here. Just some of the final moves. A run here from those. I think we did cover that. Took a casualty and a pin on him. End of turn 5. I'm going to go on to the last turn of the game. On a 4+, we could go on to turn 7. Germans may well need it if they stand a chance of winning. They may well have to try and play for a draw, but significantly the half track didn't turn up. We could have really brought that on somewhere. It's useful, but they haven't arrived. All right, so first dice is huge. It's German. We might go for a bayonet charge here. We're there. We're very close to that hedge line that's occupied. It may even be too close for reactive fire. We'll figure this out, but we may well go for an assault. Fix bayonets. Yeah, the key's not to panic. We're going for a snap to action. We've drawn our dice for 1, 2, 3, 4 squads in total. Him and then +2, then Germans get an extra 1. So instead of charging with them first, we're going to shoot with those first. We're going to do a fire order on these to try and reduce the casualties down on that squad. Okay, so they've done, so that was a fire order. Then the charge has taken place, we'll just push them in. There's no reactive fire because we're too close. Aaron's defending an obstacle, which means he goes first with, I can't even tell how many. There's 5 guys left. Okay, have any of them got SMGs?
No.
No. And then there is a rule for you with bayonets? Extra 1 dice, yes. And for those that are wondering, this helmet here, this is an original. I reckon it's French. And I found out some interesting facts about this. I'm going to pick this up. Sorry, just to add a little interlude. It's the Adrian helmet. It's most likely French. It could be Polish, but it's most likely French. I'll just show you the inside of it. 80 years old, this thing. Now, I was at Military Odyssey and I was asking around, can I get a badge? See the badge is missing on the front. See the little holes for the clips? And I was told that they're very, very hard to get hold of. Most badges were ripped off at the end of the war, and the helmets were then used for like civic stuff, like traffic wardens and so on. Not traffic wardens, but so most. And I was told that most helmets were then used for like civic duties, like traffic police and so on, at different roles, and so the badges weren't required, and they tore them all off and threw them away. So that's why it's hard enough to get badges for French helmets. But that's an Adrian helmet. So that's the story behind that helmet. I think I picked it up about, I'm going to say, over 20 years ago. I picked it up at Military Odyssey. Anyway, so Aaron's trying to defend himself here. 5 dice plus 1.
Yep.
No SMGs in the squad. It's straight to damage.
Yeah.
So you need falls.
Good roll.
1. Whoa, trouble. Could have a bit of a break in here. German squad, it's been reduced a little bit. There's 8 of them fighting.
So that was a kill?
There's a kill, yes, straight up kill.
7 of them fighting then?
Yes. Oh, true, correct, yeah. Yes, remove 1. One of them's the NCO. He has, when you take an SMG, he gets a special rule. He fights re-rolling. So I get to re-roll that as the officer, the NCO. That's worked, so that one comes through. Then the rifleman. Falls for kills, we've got 5 more.
Okay,
Wiped out. God, Germans desperate, breaking in through the edge, and they've wiped that British squad. I think there's a regroup move. I think it's something like D6. We'll check here. But yes, a regroup move made 3 inches. Not the usual procedure. We've crossed the hedge, heading towards the objective, just showing how desperate the Germans are. Remember, Aaron's unit's still yet to activate, so surely they're doomed. Surely, we'll see. Check point blank, Aaron. It could be.
for the anti-tank?
Yeah, straight into the...
Yeah, you are.
Okay, all right. So, a 2. Plus 2 for point blank. Plus 1 for AP. Can't miss. Okay, and then we'll roll to pen. 3 plus 1 for point blank. Plus 4 is 8.
And I'm an 8.
You are an 8. Oh, the thing. Why? Okay, superficial. It's a 2. So add superficial damage across here. Steering compromised, extra pin. That was 5 power from him. Officers then run around. So Germans have made it to here. Not too bad from them. Perhaps too little too late, but we'll press on. German dice. Half track. He's on. Oh boy. Cavalry have arrived. So half track's turned up here, right on the objective, putting pressure on this. We've shot and caused a pin. No kills. Got some hits, but failed to do damage. Question, we think we know the answer to this one, and that's for how close you can come on from reserve to enemy units. We can't see restrictions in the rules, but we might be missing a rule, so do let us know what you think. It may be the case that they don't restrict how close, just the usual 1-inch rule, and nothing else to stop players from being like gamey, where they block out whole zones if you have a large dinar area for units coming on from reserves. That may be the reason why you can come on so close. But it just shows flankers, significant enough in this game and very dangerous if brought in the right place. Half tracks arrived, no damage so far. So to make a few corrections, it's not the enemy's edge. When you go to turn 5 onwards, you can choose which flank instead of having to be fixed with your pre-game choice. So we've just come on this edge instead. So coming up here, the results stayed. These have disembarked here and resolved their firepower in just a moment. It's a deadly enough ambush of those. And then we have had to change the biker results around. We couldn't turn up here, so we gave Aaron back his casualty and took away the pin. And we said they've turned up here instead, moved across onto the road, and we're going to try and take on the observer. So we'll resolve that firepower and resolve the infantry firepower across the other side. So firepower, we've taken out 4 and some pins, but not wiped the squad. It looks like the British are still holding on to this objective across here. And both these units still yet to activate it. Germans right on this though. At this point, and then the bikers caused a pin, couple of wounds coming through, but cover saves made by the observer. He's actually in the hedge, so we're able to shoot at him. So just analysing the situation, I think to hold an objective, you have to clear it and be on it. We have not done that with our units. So at the moment, the Germans will need turn 7 to play for a draw. So despite the damage here and disruption for the British, Germans are set to lose. Significant results again. A down order goes on those British infantry. You can't blame them. Just out of range of the officer as well. That's the one that was doing the fubars at the start of the battle. I need turn 7 to charge to wipe and clear that objective. Then we'll grab it and we can get the draw. It's a few dice left here to round off turn 6. Okay, so British infantry gone into the building across here. My air observers run around the bend. The dingo busted on around, fell back. Actually fubard, but it was the retreat rule with him, so he scooted across back over there. Significant event on the left-hand flank for the Germans. The bikers activating those. They can fight on foot, so they've dismounted and gone into the hedge and they're going to fire through. All of a sudden, the Germans do have infantry on their left-hand side, so all is not quite lost if the Germans get turn 7. So, result, we have taken out the Vickers and we caught them at the flank, so they weren't able to do an ambush against us. But all of a sudden, maybe the Germans can try and break in on the left-hand side. Activations across here, going into ambush. The central objective will be held here by the British. They've secured that for sure. So turn 6 wrapped up here. 6 red going down the road, just firing into the hedge indiscriminately, frustrated they can't break in to get through to the objective. This one's backed off and pivoted, shot into here, killed 3 with D3 hits, each hit coming through for HE into buildings, and then no cover saves as well, so significant enough against that squad. End of turn. Aaron can roll a dice to see if we go on to turn 7, in which case the Germans stand a chance of going after objectives. So on a 4+, we get turn 7. 1, 2, or 3. The game ends with a British victory.
Nice and low, nice and low, nice and low. At a 5.
Turn 7 coming up. Right, so that's good news for the Germans. We'll see what dice comes up here. German. Okay, the game's back on. Turn 7. Well, we've got to go with these. And we'll advance them onto the objective and shoot. So, motorcycle team, they've done their job. They've moved on to the objective, gunned down the officer. It's just the mortar team. It may be the case that Aaron can simply just move models around onto the objective and contest it. The Germans won't count as holding it until there are no enemy units on the objective. So Aaron can just cancel that out. But we came very close for sure. We'll see what dice comes up next. Again, a very significant draw. German dice again. So we've gone, it's just the obvious choice. The squad's gone in for the charge because I need to try and clear that British infantry squad. I don't want any models surviving on the objective for it to stand a chance. So we're fighting simultaneously. Aaron's got 6 models, so it's going to be 6 dice plus 2.
Yeah.
This could swing either way. Any SMGs in the squad?
No.
Okay. Would you like to roll first? To set the bar. So rolling for damage, for kills, 4 pluses. I charged in, there's no reactive fire, so Aaron's caused 3. The NCO gets his, good for him. And then another 9. Four. We won, but just about, and that wipes the squad. Aaron can take off 3 riflemen, just the ones closest to the half track, and we can do a D6 regroup of 2 inches. So a regroup taking place. The objective has now been taken. The job's not quite done yet, though. There's still a British officer. Oh, him with his Colonel Fubar in the in the corner. It's down to him to try and recapture the objective. Oh, no. The place is crawling with Germans here. His fate will be sealed if Aaron pulls a 3rd German dice. So here we go.
He does deserve it a bit.
German dice again. All right. I'm going to assault him, so to try and clear him out. Chance for him to try and redeem himself here.
You do have one. You need to do an order.
Order test pin. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh,
12.
12. Officer is there. Takes us to a 10.
10, which is a fail.
Fail. Down.
That's down.
No, unbelievable. All right, Germans don't charge. Unbelievable. Yeah, I've been discussing the rules heavily in regards to controlling or taking objectives. You've got to clear an objective. You need to be on it at the end of a turn, and no enemy units within range of it at the end of a turn as well. So we're saying across the other side, Aaron can simply march the captain over there, or lieutenant, onto that objective, and then if he's going to contest it, he's going to have a unit on it, I'm going to have a unit, and then we won't count as capturing it. So it's tricky, isn't it? You've really got to totally clear an objective and anchor it to really capture it. So it needs to be a thorough job. Germans haven't quite done it yet. And that's just us playing for a draw. And across here, the same situation. Aaron just simply needs to march the mortar team around onto that objective. And again, it'll be contested. So Aaron can still play for the win. We're just going to wrap this game up because there's a couple of little moves left to do. There's nothing significant any of these units can do to impact the game. Aaron's going to control that objective no matter what we do. Across here is simply move the mortar team around just to contest that objective. We won't be able to capture it. We're just one unit. We need to. It was that mortar team we needed to get, and then we would have cleared it. So Germans, if it was a turn 8 game, they would have won this battle, but it's turn 7. And we can't complain because we've got the extra turn. There's one move left, the half track, to try and bring down that officer that's contesting that objective to play for the draw. Our air observer, no, a regular officer with a rifleman, the pistol shot and killed one of Aaron's men. So there's 2 of them left. So remain stationary, point blank range in the open. 3 shots plus 1 for Hitler's buzzsaw. We need 2s followed by 4s. No 1s, please. Go. 2 4-ups for the draw. We got it. So, okay. I would say the Germans deserve a draw at least. Yeah,
it was a bit sort of.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much your flanks held. Your left-hand side of the board is held by a Daimler Dingo. As per usual, that thing refuses to die. Anti-tank gun hit it, by the way, and caused a pin, but again, didn't penetrate. So we're going to call the game at this stage. Germans have well and truly captured that objective. They didn't capture the central objective. Aaron's kept a number of units on that objective in the middle. I've just crossed around the other side so you can see. That's the objective held there by the Germans. Good manoeuvring, good flanking move by them, just about in time. Artillery was cleared. This is the British position here in the middle. Objective held. German armoured cars so close, but not able to capture that. We need infantry and we need to clear those units. Then across here, that was all that's left of the British. If we had cleared the mortars, then that would have been a captured objective on this flank. But Germans picked up the draw here. Good contest. British managed to frustrate the Germans just enough to stop them from achieving victory in this game. So I would say of all the games we've played, I've learned a lot of lessons in this one, like tactical stuff. There's missions that are going to be reliant on getting to places, getting objectives. And so infantry units are fine, but they need help. Transportation's key, half tracks, even regular trucks, as we mentioned earlier on, for getting around the board. Because you can end up with situations like this, which infantry just are moving up slowly and they're just not making enough progress. Units that can break through, like hedges and so on. That's where our armoured cars struggled. The destroyed vehicle here had made this, blocked this entrance for us that we couldn't get through as well. And there's literally no other way in for our vehicles. So as infantry, we needed to break through these hedges. And remember, just in the nick of time with the motorcycle troops, they can dismount and move through. We almost managed to capture this one. So I can see those as being a handy unit for such a situation that we see across here. So, and then Aaron's lessons learned is try and take pressure off these.
Yeah.
So like some kind of dedicated team anti-tank, Piats, anti-tank guns, anti-tank rifles. There's various options available for the British just to free these up so they can concentrate more on direct fire. I think that's when they're most effective. So that's the game. And as per usual, you're welcome to leave your own comments and feedback. Big shout out to those that support us, the 2 top tier supporters that we have, Chris Hutchins and Gareth Wallace. Massive thanks to them. The mid tiers as well. It really means that we're able to build this channel, get it going. So it's much appreciated. You can support us on Patreon. Link for that below. At any tier, there's 3 different tiers, even the lowest tier. It'll get your name in the end credits, and much appreciated for sure. So that's the game here. Ends in a draw, stalemate in this particular fight. The British half hold the line here against the Blitzkrieg Germans. Great game. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.